Hey guys, StarCraft and Ingrid here, and we're about to go see Brightburn. So what do you think? I mean, you just found about it when I told you about it the other day.
It sounds like a really interesting premise, like a superhero horror movie. I don't think I've ever even heard something pitched like that before. It's a very interesting premise, and James Gunn is involved in it as a producer, which, since I'm a really big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, I can definitely trust to that on sort of like the name recognition alone. It's like, I like superheroes. I like horror stuff. I'm very interested to see where they go with this.
Agreed, and it's more of the Superman story, so we get to see a case of like, oh, Superman and goes bad. Like, what is it going to be a case of he's bullied enough and he decides I'm going to do something about it, or his mother raised him with the wrong ideals or something? Who knows what the cause is?
Or he just slowly goes into the descent of, oh, I just do this horrible thing for the greater good, to the point where he just kind of slowly slides down that slippery slope into basically being able to justify any atrocity with that line.
Or it could be a case of nature over nurture. What if it's in his DNA? It could be something like that. Again, it's all the possibilities, you know.
We obviously don't know just yet, but
yeah,
definitely...
I'm just throwing out all the possibilities, but we'll let you guys know, because this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. No real need to keep it spoiler-free.
Since this isn't a very high-profile movie or anything, it's kind of a standalone experience from what I understand.
Exactly. Well, it could be. I'm mostly hearing there's a bit of a sequel hook. Who knows? But depending on how it is, we'll let you guys know. See you on the other side. Hey guys, Stark and Robert, Ingrid, and Shane here. And we just got out of Brightburn, and wow, it was, for the most part, it's a very good movie, but there's one major flaw with it, but we'll save that. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review, not even trying to do a spoiler-free. Yeah, basically, Superman goes bad, basically. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, basically, same general concept, except evil rather than good.
Exactly.
At least as far as I understand. I'm not a comic buff or anything.
It is. Right down to having parents who love him. Would you agree with that, Shane? Yeah. They clearly loved him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they clearly loved him. They wanted what was best for him, but he just started going evil, and... Hold on. There's a car in there. Boy, that's a loud car. But, oh, that was a motorcycle. Never mind. But yeah, but then he starts to go, well, just one day, things, he just starts becoming more disobedient, and then when everyone's trying to get under control, he just gets worse and worse as it goes on. Wouldn't you say?
Yep. Like, at first it starts like, okay, maybe it's like average boyhood things going a little wrong, like creeping in one of his classmates' windows.
Oh yeah, especially after having the talk with his dad. His dad does not give him good advice.
Yeah.
That advice was pretty terrible. His dad gave him, right? About the, oh, like, now? No, not now. Okay, glad we had this talk. That was funny, but yeah, and then of course as it goes on, he just, again, it's becoming more and more petty. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you agree? It got more petty, or it got more to, I got to keep it quiet, keep it under wraps.
Yeah, just like keeping anyone from finding out, even if it's like the slightest whiff of something.
Exactly. I mean, the only one who survived apparently was his aunt, even though you thought you were the target.
Yeah, it's like they kind of faked us out there thinking, oh, she's gonna die, oh, she's gonna die.
Exactly.
And then it ends up being the uncle that dies instead.
Oh, and that was the most gruesome one.
Oh yeah, that was one of the bits where I had
jaws
to
are like,
I definitely had to
dropping indeed.
That was one of the ones that I kind of had to cover my eyes for a little bit.
I know, because jaws just like,
It's like
and he's even holding in place like.
It's like that one awful scene from Saw.
Yeah, I didn't even myself, although I do occasionally do like this.
Yep, but yeah, and then, you have, but here, okay, let's get into the big thing though. The reason why he's doing it, it's not because he feels like, he does feel superior, but it's not a natural gaining of feeling superior. He's not doing it because, he's not really even bullied in this. It's nothing like, none of that. It's just that he decides because his ship is telling him. The moment he does it, his ship is clearly feeding him in, and it's clearly going for a case of nature over nurture, where it's like, apparently, the one thing his ship is telling him over and over, take the world. So clearly that tells you his species was evil. Which, I'll be honest, that's the if there was a fatal flaw in this movie, that's it for me. Because they don't even hide it. They do not even hide it. It's like right from the beginning, he hears the voice, and then he starts getting an attitude, and then he starts getting worse and worse. If they had saved that for a twist or something, that would have been fine. But when they have it beat it right off the bat, he goes from this sweet little angel who's just a little dorky to a complete monster. I'm sorry. That. And what did you think about that, Shane? Did you agree that was a bit too much?
Yeah, it was kind of too early.
Yeah, I mean, what about you?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, yeah, you can kind of see where that's going, like, right off the bat. Like, if it had just been, like, some kind of, like, normal sleepwalking incident with, like, you know, just hearing this, like, gradual heartbeat, like, they do it throughout this, like, basically the entire soundtrack, they just sort of emulate a heartbeat, which one of the things really,
Oh, yeah,
really
the
good
music
about
was
the
great.
soundtrack.
Or when they went silent.
Or when it just, when it went completely dead silent, you knew something awful was about to happen.
Exactly, but again, I mean, or maybe it had to be he's sleepwalking, but we don't hear the whispering. Don't have us hear the whispering. Maybe I would be saying, like, maybe like a little bit, but don't have it make it be so obvious, like, oh, that means whispering him. It's coming from the ship. The ship is talking to him and brainwashing him. Because that's what it feels like. It felt like it was basically he got evil because the ship told him to be evil. But overall, though, I mean, the effects were good. If there was one other moment that, now, if you've seen the R-rated trailer, you've seen this moment, but it was still way too much. The mother of the girl who's Handy Crush, she's the waitress, the glass in the eye. Was that necessary?
I mean, they did manage to get some cool camera shots out of it, but still.
But yeah, it was just like it's like, and it wasn't even something he did intentionally.
Yeah.
He blew the light, but not like he knew the glass was going to get her in the eye. I mean, what did you think about that, Shane, with the eye? Did you think that was too much?
Yeah, it could have been a little tame.
But
like, you could have accomplished something similar by having one of the glass shards kind of cut a gash above her eyes or something, where it's just like.
But did you really? Yeah, did you really need the little like? But I'll tell you though, the big person in this one was Elizabeth Banks as Tori, the mom. She was the best part because you could so tell throughout all of this, she was trying her hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, the dad, I forgot what the dad's name was, but he felt very much like Pa Kent, but she felt more so like Martha, Ma Kent, and it's like, but he kind of always had this feeling he's more likely to turn on his son, but he's like, no, he's a monster, we gotta do something. But she's like, it takes until it's whapping her on the head, but let's look at how much she loved him. I mean, when we saw the video stuff, that was adorable in the beginning.
That stuff at the beginning, that just really just established the feeling.
And again, he really felt like in the very beginning when we first see him, right before the voices, you actually feel like he was a good kid. I mean, he actually felt like a good kid who was like, again, a dork. Especially the bit when he's giving like all of this, like he raises his hand and gives this big answer about the difference between bees and hornets. But yeah, and while the ending, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Except for him, everyone is dead. And his aunt is the only other one we don't know about. Who knows? She might be in the sequel. But apparently there are other supervillains. There are others out there. Basically, a Wonder Woman and Aquaman, as far as we know. And yeah, it was just very much of a downer note. But it makes you wonder, though, if his mother hadn't tried to stab him, do you think it was more of a case of he was going to kill her eventually anyway, or do you think she could have done something?
That is a really good question, because previously he really only seems to think of attacking his dad after he shoots him.
Exactly, but it felt like he was the only one that still showed emotion. You know what I mean? It felt like she was the only one that was more. I mean, she obviously gave up by that point.
Yeah.
On him, but it felt like he was more hoping like, the only good thing I have, Mom, and then tried to kill him, and then it's like, and I think, his dad got the worst of it, more than his uncle. More than his uncle, his dad got the worst. He vision to the eyeballs right through the. That was mortifying.
Yeah.
Still not as grotesque as his uncle with his jaw, but still. And again, but so much of it though still felt like it just felt like this was so proper if it wasn't for the fact that the ship was telling him what to do at first. That was it. That was the only. If that bit was just not there, if it was a case where he just got all this like, I have all these powers, I'm special, I'm gonna be better than everyone else. which was kind of there in the scene with his aunt when she was, being the counselor.
Yeah.
Just felt like, do you ever think some people get hurt because for good things?
Yeah, like that.
That felt right, but I think that was like he was in the in-between phase of the ship coaxing him, and old Brandon was still in there. Oh, that kid was great though, wasn't he? That kid was...
Yeah.
What did you think of the kid? Was he terrifying?
Once he started getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just felt like, especially some moments, you actually felt like you got a Superman vibe looking at him. So, yeah, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. If it wasn't for that flaw, it would have been a lot higher up. Maybe not a perfect 10, but maybe like an 8 or a 9. But that flaw, I should say, it's more of a 6 or 7, like 6.5 or so. How about you?
Roughly about the same. It had a really interesting concept. Clearly you can see that there was a lot of effort put in there, but it definitely showed a lot of potential, but there's definitely also room for improvement. The idea is definitely something I'd like to see more of, though.
Yep. And you, Shane? Yep. What would you have done better besides what I mentioned with with not having made it clear the ship did it? Was there anything else, or would you say that was the only problem? Well, if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep, same with you. Probably that's probably the only way that would probably been the biggest improvement would have been the ship.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, again, this is and this is Robert. This is Ingrid, and this is Shane, and catch you guys later. Hey guys, we did need to talk about this one bit quickly. Shane's not here with us, but when we started seeing the movie, it was hilarious. We started seeing the trailers were like cutesy kid cartoons. We didn't think much of it. We were both kind of still zoned out. But then we started seeing the Disney logo and then like Aladdin. And we're like, what the hell? We didn't come for Aladdin. We came for Brightburn, an R-rated movie.
And it's like, there was like a little bit of technical difficulties before that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just like, apparently somehow the computer glitched and showed us the completely wrong movie.
Way wrong movie. Like, not even in the same ballpark. Yeah, it was crazy. And then and me and another guy went to go tell them, and they got right now, but everyone was starting to leave by that point. It was just like, oh, geez, what happened? Right? I mean, you were in there when they were starting to leave. Was everyone complaining about it? Like, what?
Yeah, it was basically kind of it was definitely a bit of a kerfuffle.
Yep, but it got straightened out. But we needed to mention this because where did that happen?
I mean, that's literally never happened, and we've been to this theater a whole time.
I know. I mean, we never had that glitch at the beginning, but in no theater I've ever gone to has ever shown the wrong movie, especially again that way off of a wrong movie. I mean, I get it's one letter off, A, B, but still. Okay, that's all. Just wanted to say that.